Welcome to Deadly Dames, and for these videos, myself, Allison and Claire have decided to do a video each featuring our own top 10 most overwatched movies. So these are movies which are personal to each of us, which we could watch hundreds of times and never get bored of. And they're movies that every year we have to watch more than once. So for this one, we've looked at childhood all the way up to adulthood. Movies which we just could put on, watch it, put it on and watch it again. So they're actually no particular order. They're just top 10 movies that I could watch hundreds of times. I could have done a top 30 or top 40 for this. It was actually extremely difficult to just pick 10. But I suppose that's the challenge of it, is to try and just find the 10 that you love and could just watch that many times. So I started off with looking at movies from childhood, and I limited this to 2. So the first one is The Goonies. So The Goonies is a movie that my parents put on when I was a kid to shut me up, basically. But I love The Goonies. I still love The Goonies. I could watch it hundreds of times. I don't really need to tell you much about The Goonies because I think most people out there have seen this movie at least once, and if you haven't, you need to put it on. It's an excellent film. I actually got to meet a couple of the cast for The Goonies last year, and I really regretted not getting them to sign this 30th anniversary collector's edition, which is one of my pride and joy. I love this box set. I just love the film. It's just such a good laugh. You always know a movie you love when you can quote lines from it, and I say lines for this movie all the time. The other movie, which is actually quite similar to The Goonies, that I watched repetitively, that was a hard word to say, as a child and still as an adult. And it was funny because only last year did I manage to force Claire into watching this movie, because she kept saying, I don't want to watch it, I think it'll be crap. And she sat there the whole time pretending that she didn't like it, but she actually loved it. And that was, now this is a Spanish edition because you can't get a decent UK release of this, and it is The Monster Squad. Hold on, I'm just going to try and avoid the glare. There we are. I love Monster Squad. It's funny, when you watch this movie, really only Rudy gets a good chance at killing the monsters. And some of the monsters, I always felt a bit gutted that they died as quick as they did. I would have liked to have seen them cause a wee bit more carnage. Like Gillman, for example. I mean, the creature from the Black Lagoon is actually my favourite Universal monster, and I felt so bad that he didn't really get a good deal in Monster Squad. But I love this film. I love everything about it. And it's funny, every year when Arrow Video and even like the new Powerhouse that's just come out, the Indicator company, I love that company. I'm loving everything that they're doing just now. But every year, like Arrow say, when you do your survey, suggest a movie, and they must be so fed up of me because I suggest Monster Squad every blooming time. I actually suggest that they do a Fred Decker double bill with Monster Squad and Night of the Creeps together, but alas, it's not happened yet. And when you can go on to like 88 films and do recommendations, they must get fed up with me writing Monster Squad too. Which is funny because this next film is also a movie which I suggest to every company to release in the UK. It's a movie that in the UK badly needs a decent edition. I have the Scream Factory release here, and I've got multiple VHS, and I also have a German edition which plays, it is actually, the German release is actually the Scream Factory release, so at least I do have a Blu-ray that I can play over here, because I don't have a multi-region Blu-ray player. And I know what you're thinking, most people say why. I say because I'm scared of the amount of money that I would spend if I did have a multi-region player. So and that is Nightbreed. So I love Nightbreed. I love Clive Barker, you know, like I love Hellraiser, and I even love oh man, I forgot the name of it, the other movie that he did, it'll come back to me later. But I love Clive Barker, I love his writing, I love everything that he does, but Nightbreed to me is like his best film. And it's weird because I loved it when it was obviously badly cut by the production company, but seeing it like this, seeing it put back the way the director wanted it, the movie makes so much more sense, and it's just brilliant. The special effects in this movie is just phenomenal, and me and my sister used to watch this together all the time, and I have to watch Nightbreed at least 2-3 times a year. So that's my first 3. We then have Evil Dead. Now it's actually Evil Dead 1, which I watch more than the other ones, believe it or not, because I love 2 and I love 3, but Evil Dead 1, for some reason, I just absolutely love that movie. And it's funny because Claire always said, you want to watch an Evil Dead film, before she could even pick which one I'm putting on, number 1's on. I just love Evil Dead. I think that you can tell a lot of blood, sweat and tears went into making that movie with Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell and the whole cast and crew, and I actually totally love Ash vs the Evil Dead right now. I got the figures. I actually need to get the Ash figure with the two little children, like the little, like, I don't know what they're called, like soulless children that run about after him. I need to pick that one up. That's the only one I don't have because it's a bit more expensive. But yeah, Evil Dead has to be one of the most overwatched movies that I have. And then this is, believe it or not, I'll just take out the sleeve. This is my I Don't Feel Well movie. And most people are going to be like, what? Because it's not a movie that I don't think that many people would choose to put on if they don't feel well. But for me, this movie's just comfort. And it is demons. I just love demons. It's just popcorn fun. The effects are great. The idea, the whole film's great. I just think it's Lamberto Bava's best film. I just love Demons. I like Demons 2 as well, but Demons 1 is my favourite. And it's funny because I watch this movie, I must watch it about 4 or 5 times a year, which is, see, when you think about it like that, it is ridiculous watching a movie that many times, but it just goes to show you how much I actually love this film. But see, whenever I'm feeling a bit down or a bit tired or a bit blue or anything like that, I put on Demons. It just makes me happy. It's I know it's mad, but Demons, definitely. And then here's one from childhood, which is my favourite fantasy film. I'll just take it out of the sleeve. And it has to be Labyrinth. Watched this as a kid, watched it as an adult, watch it all the time. I just love Labyrinth. I love the music in it, and the funny thing is I'm actually not the world's biggest musical fan. There's certain musicals which I can watch and I enjoy, and Labyrinth to me really isn't a musical, it's a fantasy, and all the singing and dancing and it's just part of this fantasy world, and I just love it. I love David Bowie in it, I love Jennifer Connelly in it. It's funny, like, Jennifer Connelly when I was younger was kind of like my hero, because she starred in all the movies I would love to star in, like Phenomena and this, and I just wanted to be in the movies she was in. But I absolutely love Labyrinth, love everything about it. I can sing the lyrics. I'm not going to sing the lyrics to you, but I can sing the lyrics to every single song, and I actually sometimes find myself just like humming the tunes and stuff to it. But yeah, I even had one of the Labyrinth theme tunes as the song that I walked down the aisle to when I got married, so it shows you how much I love the movie Labyrinth. And then my second favourite fantasy film, so I'll just take out the sleeve as well, and it's actually a movie which I would have loved to have seen a sequel to. Maybe not so much about Willow himself, but about the land that Willow's set in. But I love Willow, I love the adventure of it, I love the effects in it because there's a lot of like stop motion in it. I love the idea behind it. I think the evil queen is brilliant in it, and I just absolutely love Willow, and sometimes I'll actually double bill Willow and Labyrinth together, which is not Claire's most enjoyable night. She does enjoy both movies, but I don't think she likes to watch them as much as I do. And then we've got the John Carpenter movie, which I watch the most. I just love it. I love the soundtrack to it, I love the acting in it, I love the storyline in it. I just absolutely love this movie, and if you've watched my top 10 John Carpenter movies, you know what movie's about to come down, and that is The Fog. It's a very simple storyline to The Fog, but everything in the movie The Fog works. It's just perfect, and you don't have to think about it too much. It's spooky, but it's not terrifying, so you can literally watch it at any time without being put off by it. Not that you'd be put off by The Fog, but you know what I mean, like you're not going to be like The Thing, for example. Even to this day I'm a bit scared to put The Thing on by myself at night because The Thing actually really does scare me, but The Fog's not like that. Although it's got a creepy vibe to it, it's just an easy watch movie, and I absolutely love this film. I love the soundtrack to it. And then we've got, now I love the first one in this series, I love it so much, but when I was a kid we didn't have the first one. We used to go to my aunties and my uncles at Christmas, and my cousins had the third one, and it's the third one which I'm putting down as my most overwatched, because even to this day I can just throw this movie on and sit and watch it, and I absolutely just love the third one. The first one is my favourite, but the reason why I'm picking the third one is because this is the one which I watched all the time as a child, and I still watch it all the time as an adult, and that is Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3. Dream Warriors. I love the soundtrack to this movie as well, but Dream Warriors, it's just easy watching. Don't get me wrong, it's got some really disgusting bits in it. I still find the vein scenes stomach churning, but Nightmare on Elm Street 3, it's just a movie that brings back memories of hiding under the duvet with my cousins when we were too young to really be watching the movie, and your mum and dad didn't know you were actually putting it on. And I just even to this day, if I just think, you know, I want a movie on that I don't really have to think too much about, but I love it, and I put on Nightmare on Elm Street 3. So that is one of my... I nearly went with 1, but it had to be 3, because 3 was the one that, even in childhood, because I didn't see Nightmare on Elm Street Part 1 till I was a little bit older, and then when I did see it, it was a really badly cut VHS, so it was kind of difficult. Like, they cut out Nancy making the traps for Freddy, and I was like, I don't get this. So I didn't actually really get to see a decent edition of it until I was a good bit older. But number 3, I watched every year with my cousins, and then I got a copy myself, and me and my sister just used to watch it all the time. So that's why I went with Part 3. And then the last movie is probably the movie which I watch more than any other film. And the thing is, it's actually quite a long film, but I just love it. I love everything about it. And recently I heard someone talking about the effects. I don't know what the hell they're talking about, because even to this day, the practical effects in this movie, they still scare me. If you were to sing this theme tune when I was on a boat, or if I was in the sea, I would instantly get myself out of the sea. And that has to be Jaws. I love Jaws. It is my favourite movie of all time. Everything in this movie works. The characters, and the thing is, I've read the book, and the characters aren't as likeable in the book, because obviously there's a whole affair, but in the movie they just get it perfect. The jump scares are perfect, the opening's perfect, the ending's perfect. I just think this is Steven Spielberg's best work, and I could watch Jaws every month, every week. I could probably put on Jaws. It would drive Claire mental, but I could just watch Jaws that many times. So hopefully you've liked my top 10 overwatched movies. I'm looking forward to seeing which ones Claire and Allison pick, because I'm kind of thinking some of them might overlap, but maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. I definitely think with Allison, like, because obviously she's my sister, that there's bound to be at least 1 or 2 on this list that's going to overlap with her. Hopefully it'll be interesting to see, and I think that's the whole point of doing one each, to find out which movies they consider to be the most overwatched films that they've got. So yeah, as always, thank you for watching. Please leave any comments below, and you know we like talking about films, and if there's any movies out there which are your most overwatched movies, you want to tell me why, and we can talk about it, just leave the comments below. One last thing, I just want to say a big massive thank you to all our subscribers. We're actually over 500 followers on Twitter. I don't know what we're on Instagram, because Alison tends to manage that, but on YouTube itself we're closing in 200s, which is amazing, because I never would have thought in a million years that we would get 200 subscribers and over 500 followers on Twitter. So thank you so much. It's great to know all these people that love movies just as much as we do. But as always, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and take care.